The rain hammered the porch like it was trying to wash me away. I stood there at 21, suitcase handle cutting into my palm, clothes already soaked through. My father's face was stone. "You want independence so badly, Ava? Fine. Walk out that door right now. Don't come back." My stepmother hovered behind him, arms crossed, nodding like she'd won. I had simply told them the truth that morning. I wasn't taking over the family restaurant chain. I wanted to write stories, open a tiny bookstore cafe, live life on my own terms. Their answer was the slammed door and the deadbolt sliding home. My phone buzzed once. A single text from Dad. "You made your choice. We're done. No money for rent, no car. Just the clothes on my back and the echo of their words ringing in my ears." I walked until my sneakers squelched and my legs shook. That night I slept under a bridge, rain dripping through the cracks, wondering how wanting to be free could make me disposable. The cold sank into my bones and never left. 3 weeks blurred into one long ache. I bounced between shelters that smelled of despair and park benches that left my back screaming. I begged for day labor jobs, washed my hair in public restrooms, and ate whatever strangers left on tables. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that slammed door. Independence? It tasted like hunger and smelled like wet concrete. I asked the dark sky the same question every night. Was wanting my own life really such a crime? Then, in the corner of a 2-4-hour internet cafe, half asleep over a lukewarm coffee, I found the listing. Dilapidated countryside cottage. Total renovation needed. Must sell immediately. Starting bid $5. The photos showed faded blue shutters, ivy swallowing the walls, a sagging porch, and windows staring like empty eyes. It sat on 2 acres outside town, far from anyone who knew me. $5. The price felt like a joke, or a lifeline. With my last $83 and a prayer, I hit buy now. Confirmation pinged. I owned a house, or at least the wreck of one. The bus dropped me at a dusty crossroads at dusk. I dragged my suitcase up the long gravel path as fireflies blinked in the tall grass. The cottage waited like a forgotten secret. Inside, the air was thick with dust and old wood. Floorboards groaned a warning. Rain still leaked from the ceiling in slow, steady drips. No electricity. No heat. I unrolled my sleeping bag on the only dry corner of the living room and cried until my throat burned. But the next morning something shifted. I nailed cardboard over the worst window gaps, swept mouse droppings into piles, scrubbed the kitchen sink until my hands cracked. Each small victory felt like proof I could survive. On the 4th night, while prying open a stuck drawer in the built-in hutch, I found the first envelope. Yellowed paper, my name written across it in handwriting I didn't recognize. For Ava, when you choose yourself. Inside was a single black and white photo of a woman who looked exactly like me at 30. Same wide eyes, same stubborn tilt of the mouth. A letter followed. "They told you I left. They lied." My hands started shaking. The next weeks became a rhythm of survival and secrets. I patched walls by day, read by candlelight at night. More letters appeared tucked behind loose baseboards, inside the hollow leg of an old table, even sewn into the lining of a dusty curtain. They were from my mother, Claire. My father had always said she abandoned us when I was 2. The letters told a different story. She had begged to keep me, fought for custody, but lost everything when my father and stepmother painted her as unstable for wanting her own life. She had bought this cottage years ago, quietly, and arranged the $5 auction through a trusted lawyer, hoping one day I would be kicked out the same way she was and find my way here. The house slowly woke up under my hands. I planted herbs in the cracked flower beds. String lights ran off a borrowed generator. The creaks turned from threats into lullabies. For the first time since that rainy night, the knot in my chest loosened. I started writing again, short stories about girls who refused to shrink. Hope felt dangerous, but it was there, flickering like the candles I used every night. Then the storm hit. Lightning cracked the sky open as I was trying to seal a leak in the upstairs hallway. My hammer struck something hollow behind the wallpaper. Heart pounding, I tore the paper away. A small wooden panel popped free. Inside lay a metal box sealed with wax. My name was on it again. I carried it downstairs, hands trembling so badly I almost dropped it. The letter inside was longer, dated only 3 months ago. Ava, if you're reading this, you've come home. I never left you. I've been watching from afar, waiting for the day they would push you out the same way they pushed me. The cottage, the land, and everything in the trust fund is yours, but only if you choose independence. They hid me. They hid the money. They tried to break the same spirit in you. Clipped to the final page was a phone number and the words, "I'm still here. Call me." Rain lashed the windows. My breath fogged in the cold air. I dialed. 1 ring. 2. Then a soft voice answered the same voice I had only heard in half-remembered lullabies. "Ava? Mom?" The word cracked open inside me. She was alive. She had staged her disappearance after the court battle so she could watch over me without my father's control. The cottage was her final gift, a place where I could become the woman she never got to be. The big twist landed like thunder. My entire childhood story had been rewritten in one phone call. I wasn't abandoned by a selfish mother. I had been protected by one who refused to disappear. 6 months later, the cottage glows. Wildflowers climb the repaired porch. My little writing desk sits by the window, where light pours in every morning. The bookstore cafe dream is no longer a fantasy. I opened a pop-up version in the front room last weekend. My mother visits every other week. We cook together, laugh until we cry, and talk about the years we lost. I left my father's last message unread. Some doors stay closed for a reason. Some nights I still sit on the porch with a cup of tea, listening to the quiet creak of floorboards that once terrified me. The rain doesn't feel like punishment anymore. It feels like the sound of everything washing clean. If you're out there right now, suitcase heavy, heart heavier, told that wanting your own life makes you ungrateful, keep walking. Your abandoned cottage is waiting. Your real story is waiting. And sometimes the family that tried to break you is the very thing that leads you home. I'm Ava. I lost everything the night they kicked me out. Then I found more than I ever knew existed. And so can you. 6 months later, the cottage glows. Wildflowers climb the repaired porch. My little writing desk sits by the window, where light pours in every morning. The bookstore cafe dream is no longer a fantasy. I opened a pop-up version in the front room last weekend. My mother visits every other week. We cook together, laugh until we cry, and talk about the years we lost. I left my father's last message unread. Some doors stay closed for a reason. Some nights I still sit on the porch with a cup of tea, listening to the quiet creak of floorboards that once terrified me. The rain doesn't feel like punishment anymore. It feels like the sound of everything washing clean. If you're out there right now, suitcase heavy, heart heavier, told that wanting your own life makes you ungrateful, keep walking. Your abandoned cottage is waiting. Your real story is waiting. And sometimes the family that tried to break you is the very thing that leads you home. I'm Ava. I lost everything the night they kicked me out. Then I found more than I ever knew existed. And so can you.